imagine a world where we're all the same? Who would want to live in that world? I certainly wouldn't.
I really don't understand why people don't want to include everyone else. How can it be a nice thing to have so many little groups when we can all be part of one big one?
Cheshire Academies Trust has been running a public speaking competition annually for the last 3 years, and we decided 2 years ago to link it to the No Outsiders project.
But what even is an outsider? I wanted to find out more. I asked Alexa, the font of all knowledge. She said an outsider is somebody who may feel left out and not part of a group. They may be slightly different, for example, skin, race, height, belief and dreams.
Why are you wearing sunglasses? Why does she have pink glasses? They say to me.
My name is Daniel Keeper. Today I'm going to talk about autism. I have chosen this topic because I am autistic. I want people who don't have autism to understand what autism is and how it affects people.
My name is Oscar. I'm actually named after Oscar Wilde, a man who was put in prison for being an outsider.
I haven't ever felt like an outsider before, but I know someone that had. My nanny. She had an illness where she couldn't remember some things. Her illness was called Alzheimer's.
One time I felt like an outsider was when I joined my current school. When I joined, it was partway through the academic year, so all the new children would have settled in and I would be new.
I'm Amelia Rastel, and today I would like to deliver a speech about my journey in cross-country running with hypermobility and prove I am capable of being a competitive runner despite being a little bit clumsy. Hypermobility means your joints are more flexible than other people's. This can cause pain or stiffness in your joints and muscles.
Hi, my name's Oliver Cuthbert and I'm 10 years old. Today I'm going to talk to you about a time in year 3 when I have felt like an outsider.
A time I have felt like an outsider was when I joined my new club a while ago. I thought that I'd be the youngest there and I didn't know anybody.
My name's Imogen Potts and I have Erlands. Erlands is a type of eye syndrome where you cannot read very well. It is not a problem in my eyes, it's a problem in my brain's ability to process information.
So to listen to so many children speak so passionately about experiences that they've had and how they've gone about getting over those experiences if they were negative has been truly inspiring.
You don't talk about being an outsider much, and when you talk about it you feel much better about your problems.
One day, when I walked into my dance class, I saw a girl with her head down, feeling anxious and worried. At the start, I was a little shocked because she had no hair, but that didn't matter. So I went over to her to be her partner, and ever since, we've been great friends. Sydney, the girl, has alopecia, which means her hair doesn't grow. Every day, she has people pointing, whispering and staring at her.
Every week we did something called Mad Minutes, which was a times tables challenge. You had 2 minutes to make an attempt to complete 60 random times tables questions. The reason I found this hard was because I found the speed of the questions difficult to work with as I felt pressured. When I looked around, all of my friends seemed like they were doing okay. This made me feel even worse.
Every morning she'd walk into Buxton to buy a newspaper, but when she got Alzheimer's, she would sometimes forget what she had gone to buy or would get lost, even though she had been living there for 40 years. How would you feel if you were in my nanny's shoes? I know that I would certainly feel scared and worried.
I felt on the sidelines when pen licences got given out in year 4, as hypermobility affects my hands, making them shake as the muscles must work harder to grip objects.
I'm a really proud mum. Watching my daughter growing confidence throughout this process was really lovely. It was really moving seeing all the children talk about their stories. And as a teacher, I know the importance of being able to speak in public, and to see the children practice and get better and growing confidence was a really lovely thing to be part of.
I'm just so impressed with how brave everyone has been throughout this competition to actually speak about emotions. It's something in society that we really struggle to do.
We were shocked by how many children actually felt like outsiders, and it felt like we needed to give them an outlet to talk about how different that made them feel, how anxious that made them feel.
When I came into the school, I felt nervous. At lesson times, everyone would stare at me and when I looked, they would turn back. Would you feel upset but you wouldn't tell the teacher, thinking that it might make matters worse? Well, did you know that's exactly how I felt during that time? And I would come home stressed and annoyed at myself. It felt like I was the only one who couldn't manage it.
People say I'm annoying. I don't mean to be. I just don't know how to join in like everyone else.
Even though people probably aren't teasing you or whispering about you, it feels like they are.
Because I do know people who have felt like outsiders, and at times it has really torn them apart.
I managed to finish the race, but felt really embarrassed to come last. And at first, I never wanted to run in another race again. I felt like an outsider, not being able to keep up with my friends.
My grandmother is Russian, and my mum says she sounds like a James Bond villain. She talks with a strong accent and occasionally gets her words mixed up. She was a researcher in organic chemistry, and the people who stare at her are judging her based on where she's from, not who she is.
I'd like to tell you the story of a young girl called Malala. She was an outsider because the Taliban said girls couldn't go to school.
Everyone has ways they cope in these difficult situations. You might chew your nails. I have a tendency to grab onto people to stop feeling scared, which can invade their personal space. It means I'm having a difficult time. I just need your patience and understanding.
You know you have joint hypermobility when opening a jar, or in my case, a packet of crisps, it is an extreme sport.
I don't see the words on the paper, I see the spaces between the words make patterns down the page like rivers. Sometimes bright lights hurt my eyes. And if I don't wear my pink glasses, the brightness of the white paper hurts too.
At lunch, I would sit with my classmates but not really talk to them, thinking that they might not answer me back.
Outsider, what do you think of when you hear that word? Worried, upset, depressed, lonely?
I was very proud of our daughter Isabel being involved in this project, and I think we learnt a lot about the process of being an outsider and what we can do to help be a more inclusive society.
And hopefully by being able to speak about it in public in front of a large audience, that would give them the self-confidence, the inner fortitude to be able to help others if they ever felt like an outsider in the future.
What's great for me to see is schools taking their outsiders and making it their own, and finding ways to further the No Outsiders ethos, and using Oracy is a fantastic idea as well. So I'm really hoping that other schools, other local authorities see this film and are as inspired as I have been to do similar projects in their own areas. I think it's been absolutely wonderful.
And I realised that I was not an outsider. I just needed a bit of support with something that I struggled with. And it's okay to struggle with things.
Please don't laugh at me or my classes, this is who I am. Thank you for listening to my speech.
But overall, I think it was a good experience for me to have, and it made me think that if someone was new, that I should not make them feel like an outsider.
Autistic people need friends like everyone else. We need people who are willing to take the time to get to know us. Kindness, patience and understanding are key.
I've really enjoyed doing the public speaking event this year because I think it's crucial to emphasise the fact that being an outsider can really affect your daily life and really break you down. So I think it was important for me to do this to understand other people's story as well.
I felt so proud of myself. One of my teachers who'd been at the original race had tears in her eyes when she heard I'd come 10th. This time I was able to join in the celebrations with my friends, no longer the outsider. Next time, I may even win.
She felt like an outsider because she didn't feel normal and couldn't do things that she used to do. But my grandpa would often hold her hand and tell her that everything would be okay and she would feel much better.
Who cares if someone is a boy or a girl, or if they like boys or girls, or if they have a different colour, hair or skin colour to us? Instead of excluding, why don't we just try to learn a little bit about them? And who knows, we may even learn something new about ourselves.
I can share my kindness, loyalty and skills with you too if you are willing to give me the chance I need to show you the real me. There should be no outsiders.
To have something like this as an outlay is absolutely fantastic, and they are truly an inspiration for the next generation of children to speak out about their feelings and how to deal with those feelings, and I've been ever so impressed today.
And finally, I think just the ability for children to empathise with people that have struggles and maybe are going through difficult times. I think that's very, very important as a society.
It is so important that we all try to involve everyone in things that we do so that they feel normal and included. If you ever feel like an outsider, you must talk to someone you trust about how you feel.
We must fight for the right to be who we are, to be who we want to be, to look how we want to, and to love who we want to.
I would like to say that we're all different, but this doesn't mean we deserve to get treated differently.